this is my oldest grandson. I have 4 of them. And I'm not going to cry, but probably will. But anyway, because I think that I'm a very passionate person. Other people would say emotional. I think it goes hand in hand. But anyway, when I talk about those that are important to me, it makes me cry. But anyway, he thought he was going to catch that bird. And it was really hard to keep the bird and him in the, because they were both moving really fast. But anyway, I thought that motto is something that I try to live by too. Well, I changed my mind about 15 times on this project because I'm passionate and emotional about everything. And so Casey did make and went to what else are you extremely passionate about? And I guess because I too, like Lisa, had a health issue that I let myself get really, really, really sick. I had myself this little 9-day coma, and when I woke up, I realized that I might have gone away and no one. I'm not going to cry. My camera became very important to me, as well as my children. So my driving question is, and look there, I was so amazed, 1,263 people. But it became very important to me to document each and everything that happens in my family's life and other people's. So my driving question though was, what makes you just having a camera make you a professional photographer? Does it make you? How does that happen? Because people have asked me to take pictures, and how much do you charge? Well, I'm not a professional. I don't charge anything. Buy me a Dr. Pepper. So I started reading about a diet one, preferably, because the doctor, like Lisa's, is probably the same doctor, would really be upset with me. But so I felt bad because I have friends that are professional photographers, and the question became, if I take pictures for other people, does that take away from their livelihood? Because I am uncomfortable charging anyone to do that. So I try not to do that. I don't do that. People have sent me money in the mail, and then I have to, God, I can't spend this money. It's illegal. I shouldn't be doing this because I am a teacher. That is my profession, is to be a teacher. But anyway, so that was my driving question. Am I or am I not a professional teacher? Because when I grow up, that is what I'm going to be as a photographer. I'm going to change places. Now, Miss Casey Bell wanted our picture in here. I don't ever take my picture because Heather took my picture and she forgot to tell me to stick my neck out there. So now I got all kind of wrinkles in there. And I'm counting on Becky Jackson to take those out. So I'm just and what's ironic to me is that I don't feel pretty. But I get upset when like Caitlin at school doesn't think she's pretty. So I spent 3 hours last night taking her picture. So the way this connects back to school is that, well, let me, this, now people wouldn't even call this a picture, because it's called a composite, because we're in Texas, and the Gulf doesn't look this pretty. It's usually brown and nasty like this carpet. So I changed it. Sorry. And I changed to paint. I can't, so, but I looked it up, and what is a photographer? And by definition, it's someone who takes pictures. How many of y'all take pictures? My research and the prices go from little bitty to astronomical. And I have a friend that she truly opened up. She likes pictures, so she went and bought a Nikon, opened it up, and she charges people like $100 for 20 minutes. I'm like, I can't even get my camera out of the bag in 20 minutes, much less take someone's pictures and then give them 10 pictures. Really? You can, and little kids, you can't keep them still for 20 minutes. I'm just saying you can't do it. So she thinks she's a professional. I think she's a mama with a camera, but you know, I'm not going to argue with her. But it was really hard for me. So I don't mind paying money for a fantastic picture. It doesn't bother me at all as long as I'm, you know, paying the mortgage. But because you can't ever I'm older, and for all you young people, when you get older, your mind starts going, and it's those pictures that rekindle that memory for me. So I don't ever want to be without. So my question here was, who took this picture? Because this picture is one of the ones that I posted on Facebook. I took it. And someone called me up and said, well, who took your picture? And I said, why, is there something, did it make you upset or something? And they said, no, I want to go get my kids' pictures made. I said, well, I took that picture. Well, will you come take mine? I got really lucky that he was cooperating, because at that time he didn't always cooperate. So, but anyway, the ease of a digital camera and the ease of, and the cost. My first 35 millimeter camera with film was like $300, and that was back in the day when $300 was probably the equivalent of $3,000. And the problem was that you never knew what your pictures were going to look like until the surprise. It was like the announcement, or whether it was a boy or a girl. You didn't know whether it was any good or not. Like, you took 50 pictures and only 10 of them were any good. So, but with the ease of digital, you can erase the back. Something's wrong with Wix, because I wanted to show. So last year, I had an opportunity. I took pictures of every single life skills student in yeah. No, her desktop. Anyway, it never occurred to me that parents with handicapped children, and I don't know if any of y'all have kiddos, chairs, it never occurred to me that they would have a difficult time having a picture made or portrait made of their kids. Until it was a surprise at our banquet. We had this whimsical theme, and I wanted to pay back to the parents the opportunity that I had, and make them feel special as well as kids. So I pulled out green paper and green screens and took all of their pictures, and then we put them in different backgrounds. And I'll find, because it came up just a minute ago, it's not on here. And then started a couple years ago. If you've any of you have had seniors that you've made an investment on your senior portraits, those go anywhere from $300 a disc for 10 pictures to $1,500 for prints. I've done both. And so we have a lot of kids, particularly at Commerce ISD, that they can't afford that. So these are a couple of this year's seniors. And this is Caitlin. She thinks she's ugly. But she thinks she's ugly. She was so nervous. Of course, I didn't have time to edit all of them. I just wanted you, that's one of my favorites. And she has a little attitude, but we're working on that. You know, yes, she's a work in progress, but you know, the kid does most things for herself. She's pretty much raising herself, but she's pretty there too, but she thinks she's not. And then, of course, the snow and the rain has prohibited us from being outside, so we did all these in my class, my room yesterday. I did that one without words. Do you have a drop in your classroom? Well, this is but used on the wall, and like the I want to tote my green screens over to the middle school and then A.C. Williams, so I use the green. Thought that was that her parents could afford pictures, but she doesn't want them made because she too thinks she's ugly, and she's not. She has his will be able to graduate this. Mm-hmm.
Is that her?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. She's beautiful.
But she has self-esteem. She talks like she doesn't. She, yes, Sarah Arce.
I'm still learning. In high school.
She wouldn't smile. I mean, I had to catch her while she was talking because she was very uncomfortable, and she just doesn't think that she's, yes. And so she stays in my room, and she's working on A+, but she's really a very pretty young lady. So anyway, that's just one of my ways to give back. I have done, and I would, even though I'm not a professional, I think that looks as good as some that I've seen that charge an arm and a leg. Yeah, man, I worked on that. Well, because when you take a picture like that, you have to get pretty close. So it makes them even more nervous that you look. See, and I have no problem looking at them, and I expect them not to feel, but I feel the exact same way. Oh my God, someone's taking my picture. Gross. You should recognize some of these kids too. Mm-hmm. She used that in the yearbook. I'll go through these kind of fast. We actually spent the day, she and three other girls, we went to McKinney, and you know her? Well, I'll get her up. There you go. Nancy Hernandez. She too didn't think she's pretty. This young lady, everyone probably knows her, huh? She doesn't think she's pretty either. Ashley Gruber is one of the prettiest young ladies I've ever met. And it was funny, she asked me, her parents certainly could afford to, I mean, they're good people, they could afford to buy, but she came and she said, you know, you kind of are old, but you don't think old. And I said, well, thank you very much, I appreciate that. And I said, that was freaking awesome. And then she goes, oh my God, I can't say that word in front of my mother's. And then I had to more in there, you know, but she's a really, 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 really unique young lady, but she doesn't think she's pretty either. I thought that was interesting. But anyway, yeah, we went to the lawn. 1 minute. The badges and I've actually taken a wedding picture. This was an engagement. But this girl asked me to take her wedding pictures. I said, where are you getting married at? The casino. There were 10 behind that looked like they went to the circus. It was they fought. That was mom and daughter. Fought like cats and dogs. And the mom pulls her train, you know, and I'm trying. It's like, oh, yeah, I'm sweating bullets, you know. And because the thing about it is you don't want to miss. The other reason I can't call myself a professional is because, you know, if it was a professional person and you're paying a lot of money, then when they're screwed up, then you can scream and yell at them. You haven't paid me a dime, so don't scream. I don't want to be responsible for missing a good moment. Personally, I thought that was a pretty good moment. And it was funny because this girl's grandmother was with us. And you know, old people, God love me, don't ever become old. They have the most hideous idea of what is pretty and what's not. I mean, it's hideous. They wanted arches, every arch that this grandmother could find, and then she'd be, honey, I need you to snap. I finally had to say, go ahead. Take her picture. Because when I was trying to take it, granddaughter's looking over here. So she looked cross-eyed and every other thing. So I had to I was like, okay, this is going to be the most horrible. Yeah, that was it was cute. This was pretty too. So if you haven't been to the Arboretum, it's really pretty. So I do have my badges, and then I didn't put, this is really irritating me. I want you to see the kids from the middle school, and Karen Cantera, any of y'all know her? Their parent, when I was taking their pictures, the mom said to me, of course, when you're behind a green screen, they have no idea what they're going to look like. All they knew is that their kiddos were up on this table with green paper and green sheet hanging behind them, and they really didn't know what they looked like. And when they got him at the banquet, she said, she and her husband came up and said, crying. So I cried, and I couldn't help myself. And it never occurred to me that we photography studio and have her picture made. But believe it or not, there are a lot of people out there that are not comfortable with life skills kids. And then Anne-Marie can't stand still, she rocks. So as a photographer, getting her to stand all that took us a little bit. The were so awesome, and I'm really ticked off because it was on there just a minute ago. Kind of like Tina, I don't know where they went. I don't know how many of y'all have prints. I put these on here because none of lives are business, and there is a difference in the quality of the print. I did because I thought we were supposed to have a product. So product. This
Digital product.
Well, I know, and when you said that, I was thinking that the website was a product, but it really wasn't, because I like pictures. Yeah, so I wanted to show you. This is, okay, and I learned along the way too, because getting something to be super, super duper white is hard, and indoors, all about lighting. But for those of you who take your own pictures, my point here is this is from Artsy Couture, and if you bought this 16 by 20 at a studio, it would be at least $300 to $500. I like the ones that don't have frames on them, and if you see, it's covered nicely, and it's got the little dots, won't hit the wall. It comes with a hanger. I think this is 1.5 inches, and this cost me $60. So versus $500. So if you have a really good picture, or if you've had your portraits made somewhere, baby portraits, then just get the disc. No, Precious over there that's having the baby come soon. Artsy Couture has the best canvas steels, but I mean, the quality's super. The kids carry it around sometimes because I have an old easel, and Charlie goes, "That's me, I'm a baby." Yes, you are. So anyway, I think that Walmart might get it to you a little faster, but if it's something that's really important to you and you're going to do something besides a 4x6 or a 5x7, none of those require you to have a professional photographer's license. And then, of course, the alternative is these are even cheaper. They're foam, but they're thick. They give you the same illusion as a canvas. And these were like $25 for this size. And I took these two, because the photographer that took Tristan's pictures, before I fainted, his were like, that was like $100, and I did bring a sample. Because I'm a fan of charities, and if you paid $25, you could get this 8x10 and walk out of this studio with nothing else. Of course, they're my grandchildren. I couldn't walk out of there with just this little bitty teeny picture. So I had to buy in your house all the time. This was for a 16 by 20, and this 8 by 10. $300 times 2. So yes, I'm going to convert my garage into a ferry station and figure out how to do that myself. Same thing, except I had it printed on white, gator board, same thing. Tin, same thing. So if you like thick, and I like to, because I like to rotate them in and out of those easels. $10, $300, $10, $300. Nations, having a sale right now. And, well, these prints are from Nations too, and the color is just bright, it's vibrant, it's so different than Walmart. And I did bring, I'm a fan of Shutterfly. They have the best, to me, Mix Picks and some of those others. They have some, but I have made these for our kids at Life Skills that have graduated and given them, because we take pictures all the time. So, of course, I've given them all away, so you can't see them, but just to document their story. So I chose these because this is the way Tristan looks when I get through. He says, I'm enough. Puts his hat on his head and goes. But they come in different sizes, 12 by 12. And then this, for those of you who love, my dad passed away not too long ago, and I scanned every picture in my mother's house because I don't know about y'all, normally when you had your pictures printed, there's only one set of pictures and there's multiple children. So this way, if you scan them all in, you can make a book and everyone has a copy of the same picture. And I did find when I was doing this research that, people don't print very often anymore. They just put it on Facebook or they put it on, and there are no print copies anywhere, which, while it saves paper and all that stuff and storage boxes in your house, what happens when the computer crashes and you can't share those pictures anymore with anyone? So I think the book is I must have about 50 of them because they're better looking than a photo album that the pictures are falling out of, and they're acid free and they stay the same too. And I'm going to find the link so that y'all, because it came up on Tina's computer as well. I'm really ticked.
I bet you need to click publish.
Well, because I did, and that's why it was on Tina's. I had already done that. It's amazing. And those are my badges that their parents wouldn't be able to walk in and or feel comfortable walking in and having their picture made. And so in the end, my decision aren't I? It doesn't matter to me. I don't care. Whether I am a professional or not a professional, I think I can take a decent picture and document anything. So I'm always open to people who need pictures to practice. Call me.